everyone. Welcome again to K Podcast. So, today we are going to be talking about, you know, Twitter, X. And this is the thing. I don't know if you guys have watched the new series Fallout on Amazon Prime and, Prime Movies. And this is the funny thing. I watched the whole series because I found it interesting. And I'm going to say this, the movie was absolutely fantastic. And it you can take away from this series a lot because it talks about the ultra wealthy, building bunkers. I mean, it's almost like an assimilation because a lot of wealthy people have bunkers nowadays. It's like they're preparing for something. We can remember, I don't know if you guys remember Mark Zuckerberg, what's coming out that he is building a big bunker somewhere with a lot of money. And this is the thing, the movie Fallout goes into how corporations nuke the whole world so that they could make gain out of it. It was like a play, a game for them to nuke everything. And it was quite a serious topic. But this movie is an adaptation of a video game, and I'm starting to understand now there is a lot of video games adaptations into movies that are happening nowadays. And this is the funny thing, the more they make movies that are adaptations of video games, you know, you start seeing the weirdos coming out into the light. It's like the sunlight for everyone to see how weird they are out of their basement. They start becoming, coming out like trolls that they are. And exposing themselves to real people, not their game bodies, not people on the in the gaming set, not people on the gaming sites with them that are all together weirdos, and they think because they are each other, they're both weirdos, that the rest of the world are as weird as them. But this is the thing: there were a lot of men out here that are into gaming that when they talk, some of them have podcasts, other men will be like, yeah, 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 this is not the real world, and at times normal men will actually, some men would actually, uh agree with them until they start seeing this weird character of them coming out, and then they started understanding, oh my, okay, this is a total weirdo incel person. Now, if you watch the thumbnail, you definitely saw the video or the photo. So you could literally see the difference between the photos. And this guy decided he wasn't happy enough um, for how the character was shown, because it seems like obviously he doesn't know what a real woman looks like anymore. He has no clue what real women know anymore. So he's probably a basement troll, and his mama is probably the one bringing him food, lunch, and dinner. So he doesn't know what other women look like. And if you go to the page X, to the app, and you go to look at this, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people were calling him out. A lot of people were saying, please come out of your bunker, come out of your basement, because you don't know what real women look like anymore. And I feel like this goes mostly into the gaming community. A lot of these men do not come outside. They are like basement trolls, and they will talk big in the in the internet and think that they are, relationship advisors, when the only women they've seen in their lives and talked to from PC games and Xboxes, and this is the thing. I feel like I am happy for them making a readaptation of, the movie, the game into movies, because I've I've I think the people creating this game are beginning to understand the effect that is having on some of these men that do not have two brain cells to rub together. Because at the end of the day, they start thinking that that is how real woman looks like. And I'm saying what I think is many of these, game producers, the people that make the games, are starting to understand the effect that it has on these men. Now, I'm gonna bring a video up in here of this girl literally talking about the same thing, and two more people talking about the same topic. and giving their opinion.
And it's because executives have finally figured out.
Because it's like they bring it, they bring in they're literally opening them to the world and for the world to see how weird they are.
We are in a golden era of video game to TV show adaptations, and it's because executives have finally figured out how to appeal to both general audiences and appeal to existing fans of the video game IPs. Like, it's wonderful. And I am loving every second of it because I'm not a gatekeeper and I love sharing the stories that I love with people and introducing them to new things. But do you know what I love even more than that? I love the fact that because these stories are capturing the attention of the general audience, the behavior of toxic gamer bros is also catching the attention of general audiences.
Yeah, and we all are looking at them as weirdos. And this is the thing, they were weird before. They ran into the bunkers and became more weird there and had a cocoon, because that's what they had, of other weirdos and hiding from the world. And now that the movies, they are having the game are getting a readaptation into movies, they're adapting into movies, and the world and they come out and they try to be all crazy because they be coming out here talking crazy, and everybody be looking at them like, what kind of rock do you live under? And they forget that they sometimes I feel like they forget they're the weird ones. And I'm not saying everybody that is a gamer is a weird one. There are normal people there, but mostly they are majority of the times incels. I've heard a lot of women that are gamers complain about the way men talk to them on when they are online playing, and I'm like, see, the best thing you could do is build only female community, only women community, and play with the girls, because no, you're gonna have to build a room and just for women alone, because if you don't want that toxic behavior and that nonsense, because many of these people are literally trolls living under the rock and having their mamas bring food to them. They don't know what real life is.
Oh, God, and they've had it coming for years. These people have lived in an echo chamber of their own creation, where they post things like this and get rewarded for it socially. And we have been trying to call them out and get them to stop for years. And unfortunately, if you have spent a large amount of time in these communities, you just kind of have to learn to find the arrogance of this funny, because this is not even remotely close to the worst thing that these communities will do. If you want an example of like the worst kind of stuff that I'm talking about, go ahead and look up BG3 White Will mod and you'll see what I mean. This is low-hanging fruit. Anyways, this whole yassification phenomenon is, I find it hysterical. Because these communities will yassify these characters in ways that denies the reality of the worlds that they live in. This is Ellie from The Last of Us.
She's not giving me Ellie. The first thing I see from this photo is, when did Ellie have time to put on smoky makeup? This is the thing. Like, if you look at this man and the way they behave, it is so weird. You're like, so if there would be a pandemic right now where everybody's running for their life, you think women will be stopping and wearing makeup and trying to look good for you? Like, be so real. And this is the thing. This is the time that, this readaptation of games into movies are shining the light on them, and many of them don't like this light. They don't like it because everybody's calling everybody and their mama, their grandpapa, saying this nonsense right now after watching the series or the movies. Are like, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Are you normal? And I love it for them. I love it for them.
Lives in a zombie apocalypse. Why does she have a smoky eye? Right? Like, it's just so stupid. You know, like, if you love the games and you love the world building, why, and there's an answer here, why is it that the only thing that breaks your immersion in the game is the fact that a woman does not have a perfect face of makeup? This is my favorite example of the yassification phenomenon, though. This is Aloy. Aloy is the protagonist of a game series called Horizon. Horizon is set in a world where all of humanity has died off, and then thousands of years in the future, an AI system that was left behind by the people who died restarts humanity by literally like creating little embryos and spitting them out into the world. And it was supposed to teach them about our world, but then something went wrong and it wasn't able to teach them. So these societies formed from the ground up and created their own cultures with their own expectations, with their own values and morals and things like that. She grew up as a human living in the remains of our society. She doesn't have access to sunscreen. She's busy fighting robot dinosaurs. But people are mad that she doesn't look like this.
Oh my God. Oh, no, no. You cannot make, I mean, like literally, these people need to come out into the real world. I feel like this is the thing that happens when they get into this gaming so much, especially very young. They forget about the real world, and they forget about what humanity, what is real life. Like, all of these games are created. In real life, no. If this goes up, no, in fact, you'll be throwing hands with everybody. And they think you're gonna have time to go put on makeup. I mean, first of all, with the story that she narrated about this particular game, I'm like, how is she supposed to know she's supposed to wear makeup in the first place, or what makeup is? And they're mad that she doesn't look like that. Like, be for real. Be for real.
Anyway, if you have never played video games and you are encountering these men, just know that we are cheering you on every time you're yelling at them. It's a beautiful thing to see, and I love you.
And they definitely hate it when women, normal women that are I feel bad for women that are gamers. I do feel bad because you have to deal with all of this nonsense. I don't think my temper would let me. I probably would have blocked a lot of people. I probably would have created a solo only for people I know space for playing. Because no, I wouldn't tolerate. And I've had a lot of women complain about this, especially if they're playing online. I'm like, no, absolutely not. So we're gonna go into this next one over here. The guy calling, the first guy that I saw that called this particular, recreation of this character, because he really did a good job about calling him out for this nonsense.
It's not the fact that he made it, but it's the fact that... You want to know what really makes me mad about this post? It's not the fact that he made it, but it's the fact that there are tons of people telling him thank you for making this. I saw another guy make...
That is the thing. His fellow, creeps, his fellow incel, they think that is how the real world works. But this is the thing. These movie adaptations are bringing them into the light where everybody in society can see how weird they are. And normal people are calling them out for it.
Make a video about this, and a lot of people in the comments were like, this is what it looks like in the game though. And I'm just like, this isn't a video game. This is real life. This is a real person. And honestly, if this is something that you feel needed to be done, you should go get help. You should probably go see somebody or talk to a therapist, something. Because this is disgusting. It's really sick. And it just got worse when I went to his profile, because he was admitting that he knew it was wrong, but he was doing it because people like it. And he said that it has nothing...
But the fact that he said people, instead of just saying, hey, me and my crow brothers, under the rock, living under the basement, with our mama bringing food to us, like it. He said people. That dude, I'm pretty sure he had not come out of his basement for years.
to do with corn, because if it did have something to do with corn, he would have made her nude and probably put it in her. That's quoted, by the way. Modifying real people's bodies to fit your needs is gross.
Thank you very much. And there was another guy that had something to add. I'm just gonna bring this video over here because it is funny.
Game though, and I'm just like, this isn't a video game.
It is funny how everybody's calling them out because they think this is normal.
This
is one of my favorite things, though. I love when, internet losers and incels are like, they cast her as this character? That doesn't even look like a real woman. Why doesn't she look like this mod I use in Fallout 4 that makes my character look like a hentai character? That's what real women look like? Amazon doesn't even know what women look like. When they're talking about a real-life woman who exists, they're so fucking Coomer-brained that they look at a real-life woman.
The thing is, yeah, at this point, we're gonna take their clueless. I mean, like I said before, they're like trolls living under the rock because they don't even like. If you go to the street, people are like, dude, go outside because it seems you haven't seen the sun for a long time. You don't know what people probably look like. But this is the thing. This is the toxic nature of when you create a video game and you make everything look extremely sexy or sex based on sex appeal for men. Because you can also put the blame on the game makers, the game developers, because they are to be blamed as well for this, because is the fact that I understand that they wanted to sell to the male audience, but now that many people are getting involved in this, is getting weird and a lot of people are calling them out, and now they're modifying many of the characters. I mean, like the Last of Us, I watched the whole series of the Last of Us and I love the character Ellie, but I didn't hear a damn word because every time there was somebody buzzing or crying about the character, why is the one in the video game most sexy? And let's not forget, Ellie's like, is it 13 years old? And I'm like, what's wrong with you people? And the truth is, the Last of Us, the series, brought out all these insults outside into the sun, and everybody saw how weird they were. And a lot of people called them out and said, what is wrong with you people? She's like a child, and you guys are nuts. It was crazy.
Who exists and goes, that doesn't look like a real woman. I've seen anime. I know what a woman looks like.
Yeah, that is the thing. You also have to blame those anime characters because they exaggerate the body parts of the women in those characters. And you're like, what? Who looks like this? And then they come out, they think every woman should look like that. Oh, this is how a real woman looks like. And then you look at them, you're like, are you for real? Are you a real human being living in this planet with the rest of us? Or what's wrong? Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Thank you all for joining me today again. Do not forget to let me know what you think about this whole ordeal of this creep literally trying to, attempt to recreate, the Fallout character, Lucy, in the commentary section. And I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day and goodbye.